you can actually be successful and teach children in a much shorter time frame. But schools are set up so that parents can go to their jobs. Oh, this is like Blad. Damn.
My bad, bro. We gonna be right back after these.
But then they don't push each other properly. They all rather say, "Yo, man, you're good." Oh, you're good. No.
Let's talk about it. Now let's talk
We are
about it.
here with the one and only, the man.
Now let's talk about it.
Reality, the legend, the leader, the OG. You know what I mean? The poet.
Damn.
The kind, aggressively passionate, wise African American black father man. Paul Cameron, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, thank you for having me on, Blad. I appreciate this.
I'm just trying to do my thing, man.
I see that. I see that.
Yeah, so I just wanted the audience to get a chance to meet you. You know what I'm saying? I met you back in the 1900s when it was before Cash Money took over for the 99 in the 2000s. And I really remember seeing you as a black man who wasn't compromising being black in order to have the job. You know what I'm saying? At that time, it wasn't super duper outwardly racist like it is now, but the stuff that's happening now, we kind of already knew this then.
Right.
You know, sometimes I see what's going on in the community or on TV, and I'm like, man, welcome to the Black experience, you know? So what were those times like? Could you kind of help our people understand what was Paul Cameron doing, or how did you get to be working with kids and being that guy then?
Okay, so first off, I just gotten out of college, Medaille College. You know, I did my time there, and at the time I needed to do something. I went in for broadcast, PR. I'm a media communications major. So I didn't like what was going on in the field because people couldn't be honest. I didn't like reading the news parts where they would say little coded messages that would tell you, oh, black people did this. So I knew that I wouldn't make it very long on the air. So one day my father said, why don't you substitute teach? I was okay, I'll try it. I went in there and I was like, damn, okay, that's all right. Because I was able to use all my skills to influence people. And that's what I wanted to do in radio. I wanted to do the same thing. I wanted to have a show that was going to be something different, but I wanted to reach especially black people and something that gave us pride and something that would also combat systemic racism. So I started substitute teaching, and I get to a point like I become known as the ghetto sub. School 11 becomes like my number one school. Fights every day, stuff going on. And it's because I was able to deal with a lot of the children who, what you would say, were at risk. So School 11, School 44, my man, Mr. Hargrave.
That's where I was at.
You know, that's my man.
Yeah.
And
that was another brother, like, yo, he was
man.
like he was a strong black man. Like I know throughout our community, people don't like it when our brothers date women who are not brown. And I don't know if that was his thing at all, but I know when I hear stuff like that, it'd be like, he was a strong brother. A lot of times people are like, but he was dating white women or something like that. So I'm like, I don't know at that time, I didn't know what these men had going on in their personal life. I knew they were strong black men who didn't compromise when I saw them.
I don't know what to say about that because my parents were teachers. My mother taught with Gil in the school. So Mr. Hargrave was smooth. I'm gonna leave it at that. That was my man. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I used to love the way he would talk to kids. He like, yeah, he was taller, so
Right.
he could up in the corner and be like, yeah, let me tell you, motherfucker, no, you better not do that shit again. And he would talk, that voice.
Yo, he really talked to you like, hey, listen, I could slap the shit out of you.
Right.
Or I can let you get a pass and go to class.
So, the way he did things is how I thought I should do them too. So when
we paraphrasing. He was very professional though. It's the way he said it. The way he did it, to us was black, even though he was saying the right words.
Yes.
He was saying it right. He was a professional man.
Yes, he was.
But when we saw him, we saw he was able to translate between the two.
Okay. That's what we're going to go with. And I'm with you.
Respect.
Listen, there's not many teachers that I can say that I actually kind of took on their personas in order to be successful with students. But I know Hargrave, most definitely. And I know if there were kids, they're not even kids now, they're grown adults. They would tell you the things I said to them, which sometimes I can't believe I said. And it was because I was willing to pull them aside. I didn't embarrass them. And sometimes I was very professional, but I had to speak to them in a way that my message would be understood and let them know that, yes, I'm a teacher. I'll be professional, but understand I'm still a person. And I will see that ass outside of school today. It's a possibility. And when you see me, I might not be the teacher. I'll be a regular person. And I've had to tell kids, you mistake teachers for not being people. Because if you didn't know me, would you say the same things to me if I was just a stranger? Because if I was a stranger, I might be crazy. Something might happen to you. So you take your life into your own hand, but you're in school, you're protected. So you feel as though you can pop off, you can wild off. Okay, you can do all that. All right, I'm going to let you think it's okay. However, if I see you outside of that, now I'm going to say what I really want to say so that's understood. I don't want you to misread me.
And that's interesting because, like I said, when I met you, I literally remember you being at the beginning. And then we reconnected when I got older and I started doing trainings and teachings and stuff like that. So Mr. Hargrave was one of my people I looked up to. Mr. Ferguson was one of the people I looked up to.
Red.
Yeah. Because I was trying to figure out.
So I said Red. So I know him from the barbershop.
You see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? David Blackburn.
It's another smooth brother.
You know what I'm saying? David Blackburn. You feel me? Tommy McClan, who was more the spiritual side, and then I was looking at people. I was looking at Drew Kahn as well because he was into the college and he did films and you know what I mean. So it wasn't just black, but it was still people who carried themselves a certain way, and we can call it smooth. I like smooth. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got their smooth in different ways. So chunky peanut butter can be smooth if, the thickness of the bread is correct and it's warm enough.
Yeah, just ask Biggie.
So, when I met you, I remember I did a hip hop presentation because I had watched, I went to a course with Kush B. From,
wait a minute. Can you see me roll my eyes? Okay, that's one of these.
So I
Kush. Kush.
Gotta get bro on the show.
Kush.
I saw bro, he was speaking on behalf of Kip Sankofa at the time. Bro, this what I'm saying. All of this goes back. We all know all this stuff.
Oh.
We all know all of this.
So, hold up. So before we go any further.
Yes, sir.
Kip Sankofa comes out. Had to be like maybe our second year I was at Now Valley Shule.
Okay.
And they were the commercially known school in terms of like any type of rivalry.
Okay.
And I was kind of offended I saw the curriculum and it was cool, but people bought into the extended hours because that's what folks always say that kids need to be more in school. No, the reason why kids are in school early is because we used to be a farming community. It's not because they need to be in school at 7 o'clock in the morning. Kids probably shouldn't be in school until about 9. That's the time that you should have them in school at 9 o'clock and make that day from 9. It doesn't have to be to 5, it doesn't have to be to 4, it doesn't have to be to 3. It can actually be to 2 o'clock. You don't have to use all those hours pounding what? I mean, if we look at education right now, is it truly effective? Sometimes we say it isn't. Sometimes it can be. It depends on the teacher. And it also depends, and teachers have to know the audience. And they have to make information important and pertinent to a child's life or surrounding. And I think a lot of times as teachers, we don't do that.
And were you teaching during a time when it was like, pretty much like teach to the test? Because like now it's different. It's like now you really don't get. I'm a sub, so I always try to say I show respect to the full-time teachers as far as saying I really don't know. I be around. I've seen some things. I have my opinions, but I don't know if the administrative bodies are really adding that much issues and pressure that translates to how you conduct yourself with the students in the class versus one of the kids in the class have a parent who knows somebody, so everybody's pretty much telling you you're not being the proper adult because we want to appease these adults and their kids are acting up. You know what I mean? Like there's all these different issues and I'm like, was that stuff always happening? How did y'all deal with that? You know what I'm saying? Because these are the issues I hear people talking about based on what you're saying.
Yes. Okay, so let's take it back a little bit. Things changed a whole lot when they made it mandatory that teachers have a bachelor's. A master's in education. When they did that, teachers who loved the subject were removed. And we lost some really good teachers. What we gained were a lot of young people who had no idea how to deal with these children. And year after year, they keep trying to catch up. Then they also, they made it mandatory to know certain things every year. And so children weren't allowed to master anything. Everything, well, you got to know this, and this. And if they don't know it, too bad. Just keep moving. And then we start pushing kids. And that hasn't helped. So we have kids that can't read, and reading is a big thing, because if you can't read, you sure know ain't going to be able to do math.
And you mentioned it earlier, like literacy reading helps being able to read the room, being able to read, like not the contract. You got to be able to read the contract and the person giving you the contract.
So if you understand context clues, and you take that and you make that really a part of yourself, you can apply it to when you meet people. And you see how they act by things you say, and you go, oh. And then you can read what they're saying. So he might scratch his head. Now, in the big scheme of things, that might mean nothing. But when they scratch their head, every time you say something that they don't like, you go, oh, okay, he ain't feeling that. So I will challenge it, or maybe it's something that I will leave it alone. So a lot of kids today, reading is one thing, but they don't, even how reading each other, looking at people, they don't do it. Nowadays, they're more concerned about what's on their phone, what's in their palm.
Well, what's in their palm is more concerned about them, though. And I'm not saying not you. You
No,
got to
no, no,
remember,
no,
we
no,
are
no, no.
minorities, not just black people. We are a minority within the
saying.
culture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where we really have something to offer to a young person. But I just listened to a young person speak. She's a fourth or fifth grader, and she pretty much was saying, and I'm really saying, she spoke for about 5 minutes straight. We just let her talk. But in a nutshell, she said, everything is doom and gloom. There is no more community. I hear y'all talk about this wonderful time when y'all used to have family and community, but now nothing is safe. The schools aren't safe. People shooting everybody. She just was like despair, agony, hopelessness. And I was like, whoa, this is a good kid who, you know, it's like it's you know, it's stereotypically, it's like, this is a pretty little girl. Right. Why is she don't even have like I want to get my hair done like this. You know what I mean? Like everything is like, I'm worried about the people getting killed in Ukraine. I'm like, damn. You know what I mean? I know kids who care about that stuff and these things keep popping up. But her whole message was, the adults are only teaching me gloom and doom.
Unfortunately, the world has been gloom and doom for a long time. It's just now with social media, it's more accessible. You know, it's there all the time. I can look on this screen, that screen, and I can see all of it. But it's been going on for quite a while. And so when I think about all that, because I used to teach a lot of that, I would say that stuff in class. And I would tell them that the reason that you like certain things is because of gloom and doom. It's entertainment. Good things do not entertain us. We don't want to see two people being happy. That's not fun. We'd rather see two people mad and complaining. That's what we like to see. And it's unfortunate that those who are oppressed are the tools for that. The oppressor likes watching the oppressed argue. They like putting more pressure to make things worse, to see what you're going to do, what's going to make them crack. Yeah, they did that. They do that. But the sad thing is that we're conditioned to also enjoy what the oppressor enjoys. And we get off on watching the same stuff. Like, do you watch The Wire?
I didn't watch The Wire.
What?
Only because...
Man, give me your black card.
First of all, my black card can't be... I don't have a card. I am the black card.
Ooh,
we can...
There you go.
We can fight to the death over my blackness if you like.
No.
I don't think I should fight another black man over blackness. Exactly. That's weird. I was just about to bring that up. Chuck D said they're marketing... Did Chuck D say this? I was watching a documentary by, I believe his name is Brian Hurt. Something like that. I might be wrong. Okay. But it was exploring manhood. And he was an ex-football player. So, you know, it was like the jock is asking kids, what do they think about being a man? Yeah. And he went out to do that, to be that. But he found the Freaknik. He found the music industry. He found that the strippers held up hip-hop for the drug industry and the stripper industry held up hip-hop throughout the 90s and the 2000s because these big, you know, because of business deals. And now we're starting to see all of these things. Like I said, it's like I said, welcome to the experience, everybody. I've been knowing Diddy was weird since I was a child, and I ain't have nothing to do with New York. Right. And I'm not saying he got anything to do with the whole RICO charge by himself. I'm saying the brother has been unchecked for quite some time.
Oh, yeah. That's a whole bunch of people in the industry that go unchecked.
Right.
It's just a matter of when you are unchecked and then you decide that you actually think that you can move like them. And yeah, I'm being coded about that. You can move like them. That's when they slap your hands. That's like OJ. That slap his hand. Right. He had to realize that, no, you are black. You're not just OJ. So that's very real. But
Well,
we were leading up to something.
I bring it up because he was doing a documentary, and I believe Chuck D or another brother who's an executive in the industry at the time, he said that they're marketing Black Death.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know what I mean? This is around Tupac and Biggie died. Really, honestly, Tupac was murdered. And then it was like, this is the new can or box to put whatever your product in. Death. You know what I mean? So we look at Chirac and all these kids telling and getting shot now. And I'm like, yo, this was already started before Tupac. But Tupac was the poster child of the Black Panther movement mixed with the ghetto street bullshit mixed with it seemed like he infiltrated to some people, and to others he sold out. So it's like they turned Tupac into Martin Luther King or Malcolm X. It's like the commercial told us who these people were. Social media is exposing who these people really have been. You know, and I'm looking at it as I'm looking at a teacher who's been around for the time, and I'm like, wow, how do you take the how do you take the transition from that time coming into now?
Okay, so I'm a Tupac fan because I've always loved how Tupac allowed you to view yourself through his own mistakes. You know, and I think he knew that much. He said, I want to talk about these things that affect me, and they're going to start relating to it because now I'm allowing them to look within themselves. And I think that's what separated Tupac from a lot of different rappers. He was complex. He wasn't perfect. And you can see where the trauma in his life, it derailed what he was trying to do early on.
Absolutely.
So,
but this happens to a lot of artists, though. This is why the people like myself and younger. Now, I've done a little bit of research. I've tried to interview a little bit, but it's like I remember a lot of my uncles and people who weren't into the bitches and hoes era, you know, and they were like, he's a punk, you know, he's soft, he's spitting at the camera, look at how he's acting. I remember when people did not like this.
So wait a minute, so let's see, Tupac been how old now? 50-something.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like close in age.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember when he was doing all of that. And yeah, sure, he has some effeminate ways. All right, okay. But to me, it was no big, to me, he was always an actor. After he did Juice, he was Bishop 24/7. Prior to that, he was something else. And so he would transition to what would best suit him. And then every now and then, while he was in the transformation, he would still reach back and drop little gems. Because to him, I think that might have been his best way of getting across something else. In the midst of that assassination, he was trying to get the East Coast and West Coast together. For whatever reason, he felt that Biggie was behind him getting shot. I don't know. But he was trying to do something much bigger. And all that got messed up. Now, we can speculate on who was behind it.
Well, we know now, legally, who they say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's
you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. I've been knowing these people are weirdos since Heavy D said it. Since Heavy D said, hey, y'all, hip-hop is changing. These weirdos are starting to take over, and they are not hip-hop. And then a few months later, he was gone.
Yeah, but he was arm in arm, or right.
He was with him.
Yeah, he was.
I know. That's why I believed him.
I mean,
I might be wrong to believe him.
But he was different.
He could have been accidentally telling me a message I picked up. I don't know.
That could be it, but he was different.
Right.
I think he actually was trying to do things to keep the message positive, to present another narrative that wasn't going with the same narrative that we always get. That everyone black is poor. Everyone black, we speak a certain way. Everyone, we're not a monolith. We're more than that. And so a Heavy D being successful would have been a problem. Hip hop changed a lot after 91, 92.
After MC Light came out and said she want a roughneck?
Was that before NWA?
That was after.
That was after. See, NWA paved the way. Dre definitely knew how to make some beats.
But we know what Dre was doing before.
Right.
We know what he was wearing, what type of time he was on, the type of music he was making.
But I'm saying that the music part was him.
Right.
Musically. It was the people he got to rap. Ice Cube knew what to write that would make people listen.
Mm-hmm.
And when they first came out, I saw that there wasn't a total glorification of violence all the time. There were times where I actually felt that they were telling a story.
They were.
Of letting you know what's happening. And they weren't saying, this is what we need to do. Now, did they have songs where...
A bitch is a bitch and all that type of stuff? Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
She swallowed it.
But we got songs now. Listen, there's a song out right now called Trip Out or Tip Out, Tippy, Trip Dance. I can't remember. But basically, it's just pelvis gyration. Like Patra from back in the day, dipping far back Patra, just the pelvis vibration. This is a 4Kids song, bro. So kids are getting in trouble at their house because they doing this dance like they're African queen,
right?
And they 9 or 10, and they grandparent is like, you having sex, because why would you be doing that movement?
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's a whole. I'm like, yo, we always have had to deal with our kids, what's coming in from the outside,
right?
Reproductive health, how much they know, all of the stuff we've been talking about today. Like we've always had to deal with this stuff. And I know we kind of veered off of what we were talking about because of the social media piece.
Right.
And it's like the phone consolidated all of those things into a one box.
Yeah.
So there's no diversity in how they view things. But also when the youth are viewing things from real people, they're doo-doo as hell, Paul.
So the thing is that...
like they trying to touch them. I'm not trying to get into it. I'm just saying, they trying to do... as a teacher, bro, we are a minority.
Right, but the thing is, so once again, those who are oppressed, they don't have the ability to have their children in all types of camps. And they don't always live in areas where they're open to cater to their children's needs. So what are they left with? They're left with the TV. You're left with the radio. Your friends hear the same. They watch the same stuff. They're seeing the same things. And what do? They get together and they do more. They play more of it. So when you don't have the power, when you have no control over a lot of things, you're kind of left to what's going to happen. Now, can parents change things? Of course they can. But if you don't know, then what? That's the other part.
So what do you do to help us know? Because I know some answers, but I want you to let them know, and let's start getting into that because I don't want to spend all our time on doom and gloom. But it's like the education thing is so big to me because I met you when we were trying to educate the youth. You know what I'm saying? And now we're like OGs, as they say.
Right.
And it's like, OGs of what? Y'all...
The only thing I do, man, you know me, I always try to keep it real.
Yes, sir.
And as my daughter would say, I'm out of pocket a lot. And I'm sure my friends would say the same thing, that dude is always out of pocket. Unfortunately, I think me being out of pocket also works to my advantage because it's the is the degree of honesty. Like you said, I'll say something, it might hurt to the core, but if you know me, I wasn't trying to hurt you. I was really trying to help you.
Mm-hmm.
And I admit sometimes I don't say things.
I mean, you put a little hot sauce on it. You put a little spicy,
Well, yeah, a lot
little
of times
chicken wing number 8 sauce on it,
man,
you know.
Yeah, I definitely dropped the bomb on you.
Right, like why you jump straight to 8, bro?
Yeah, right. Bad taste.
Give me some sriracha first, bro.
Right.
No siracha in the house.
No, I admit that. I do that. That is me. But part of that is because I always feel that we lie to each other often. We never hear the solid truth. And sometimes you just need to tell people the truth. And if I tell you the truth, it's not that I'm going to let you just sit in your whatever it is. I'll offer help. And I think that we have to listen to people. And you have to pay attention to people's needs more than their wants. We become a society of just want. You want me to like this. You want me to do this. Nah, I'm not feeling that. Well, why not? Because this, that, and the other. Well, you old. Yeah, you're right. I am old. However, what I'm speaking on doesn't always make it untrue. Because if I'm willing to sit here and take in what you're saying with respect, you should be able to take what I have to say that you might not like with the same degree of respect.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we just don't do that. And I think that's filtered into even more just society. At one time, I felt that was more within our community, but that desire to be with validation. It seems like we're people that's always trying to be validated by something, whether it's by money, prestige. It's going to validate me as a person. We don't sit in the fact of who we are, what we are. Oh, because we don't know. Oh, because we were stolen. We were made to fit. We were made to fit this thing for America. We don't even know who we really are half the time. So we think that what we're doing, this is me. You don't know. Because if you've never had the trauma, would you be the same person that you are today? If you didn't have all that baggage.
Yeah. Man, that is powerful. You know what I mean? And I was sitting here thinking about, as you were talking about, like, not clout chasing, I'm going to just use that phrase. Mm-hmm. As you were sitting here talking about how, the clout is the thing now, I was sitting here thinking about all of the amazing people you work with. I was about to start dropping names. Like, yo, I know you worked with this person. And I'm like, man, it wasn't for clout. And you never do that. Like, you haven't spoken about any of that yet. We've been in here for a minute. And I'm just like, bro, some of our favorite artists that we know, and not just artists, but professionals, have had to hear Paul say things that they did not like. And it made their content better for you, the viewer. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to say that because I do want to get into what you're doing. I know you're managing a group. I know you've worked with people who are in the industry for real right now. I know you have, I know your wife was doing poetry and had a whole thing. And I don't know what y'all did together outside of that. Like, you have
we made children.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, you a producer. You feel me?
That's right.
You produce.
That's right. Yeah, baby. You know me. And sometimes I direct it. Get the D.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man.
See, out of pocket. That's what my daughter would say. See,
I done kicked the camera. I'm having a great time. Okay. So let's get a little bit more into the music. You've been
cool.
Before you get into the managing, have you done music or you just been on the managing side? I know we have a song together, but I had to swindle that song out of you for a good time.
That's right. So my man James Robbins, years ago, he discovered me in a photomat booth. I'm working there, and I was doing his pictures. He come through, and we just started talking. And I don't know how we got started on. I want to record something. He said, "Come on by my house." And I'm a young dude. And first time I go to this man's house, it's down the basement. I'm like, yo, what did I get myself into? I said, well, you know what? Whatever happens, I know how to do this. Stay along the wall.
Yo, why we always gotta be a spy when we go anywhere?
Stay along the wall. And something comes up, it's gonna come at me. Bah, and I'm ready to go.
Two-piece on deck.
Get right in the corner. So I knew that was crazy, and there's really slightly more to that story, but I don't want to go into that part because it's really funny. I'll tell you off camera.
On Patreon, man.
Hey, for real. So we started doing stuff. I started doing stuff at his house, and he liked my poetry. So let's put it to music. And so then he got me into Earl Clue and all these jazz. I was like, okay. And some stuff came out was really nice. But we didn't do anything really with it after that. Because he said to me one day, if you write about this one thing, because I was big into talking about burning down the government.
Mm-hmm. The revolution.
I was like...
Fist in the air, buddy.
I was like Paris 3.0. I'm calling out names. I'm saying all types of stuff. I'm being inflammatory, purposefully.
Right.
I want all the smoke.
All the smoke.
And it was like, so you said this in this song, so what you gonna rap about now? He said, everyone talks about the problems. What about the solutions? And when he said that, whoop, I couldn't write everything that I was talking about because I saw that I was fixated on just talking about the problem and not how do we solve these things. Mm-hmm. And that changed me. And so after that, then I would write things that were normally personal. Mm-hmm. So, and then I would write them so that when I would read them, I would learn about myself. I would say things in the poetry so I could analyze me. And then my works, those are somewhere. I mean, I know where they are for the most part.
Come on, man. You got albums already, bro.
But that stuff is where it's supposed to be, I think.
It's not supposed to be in a vault, bro. You're not dead.
No, I'm like Prince right now.
Oh.
I'm just a symbol.
Hey.
So you whip. So I mean, and I think that there are some people who are meant to do certain things in life. And I think that what I'm meant to do is to help others bring out the best in them. I think that's what I do best. Instead of trying to be a star or whatever, because if I had to be a star, it would not last long. Because I'm going to say something. You can trust that I'm going to say something about Trump. You best believe I'm going to call his punk ass out.
And we'll be right back in 3.
See?
We'll be right back.
No, but check it out. Now think about this. The word Nazi, people are scared to say. But they ain't scared to say nigga. Why is that? Really? So that's where, I know that maybe I should not be in front of anything. Well, it depends. Now that you want someone to be kind of loud or is going to say something upsetting, that's like being like Darnell Jackson. So, who I had worked with for a moment.
Mm.
So, and we got along well.
Mm.
That's another story. But someone like that, if you know that's who we are, and you put us in a position that you need to be prepared for all that. You can't run scared when we start opening our mouths because that's what you put us there for. So, and I found that it's better for me to move the way I move, sometimes by myself, because I'm the only person I can trust to be there for me. I've been in situations where I had to damn near beg people to stay with me in a situation. And then, it was kind of like an obligation that they stuck around. But they didn't really stick around because of the fight that I was talking about. Example, when I was at Medaille College, they had a radio station, WMCB, and they were racist, for real. We play something we play hip hop, and they would turn off the speakers, they would shut us down. So one day, I decided that I was going to have an all hip hop show. I wasn't going to play the rock music. Now, we had a playlist, what I would do, I would then put on like the rock song in between stuff, or I would substitute things like Rock Box, Walk This Way, Run DMC, that's how I would do it. Because rappers were starting to use rock stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So now I had my rock music, I had my R&B, I could do that all day long. So now they started taking down the speakers so no one would hear me. We got into a big argument over it, and I charged the station and the school of being racist.
Mm.
Channel 2, Channel 4, Channel 7, all there. So it's me and two other people, but this moment I will leave nameless. And they presented me and a friend of mine from St. Giannis. They presented us with a thing that if you say it was this person over here, we'll put all the blame on him, and we'll let y'all go. So, because you're freshmen and you don't want to mess up your career. So, me and this person, we talked about it. And both our parents were like, you guys should take that deal. I told my mother, emphatically, no. I said, I'm not doing that. I said, because if I do that and they get rid of this brother over here, then what about the black people that come after me? What about the next freshman? What about those people that come after me? I said, no, I ain't doing that. So at one point, my buddy, he was thinking, bro, I might have to take a back seat. I might have to.
You're not going to do that? Because if you're not going to eat that.
He looked at me, but he knew who I was. And he kept thinking, he said, man, if I do this, it's going to be 4 years of that funky-ass attitude from Paul. And I said, it's going to lead to some fights. It's going something going to happen. Because he wasn't going to take that BS from me, and I wasn't going to look at him the same. And so with me and the dude they wanted to blame, we were there at the meeting. My man walked in the last minute. Yo, I'm with you. I said, cool. Now, the other dude they wanted to blame, he was with me for the reason that you're right. We fight. We do this. And he didn't care. He was just, I think he wanted to scrap.
He just liked to fight.
But he was with me. And so I appreciate the fact, but I knew right then and there, I was the only person I could really trust. And I told them, I said, listen, if y'all scared, I told them to fall back. I said, I'll fight without you. I said, I don't need y'all to fight with me because I'm going to fight by myself, and I'm ready to take them all on. And so the thing has happened. The school apologized. It changed some things. And there were small changes. Nothing big, but...
It took a lot of time. Over time, some changes happened because
Now,
I know some black people who were able to thrive at Madai.
Right.
And I'm
after
thinking
that,
maybe some of that
but
was a
they,
seed
right,
that
they had the
grew
hip-hop
into...
stuff, all that stuff, that's because of what
That's what I'm saying,
we did.
brother.
And
You know, some changes were made. Yeah.
But that's what I was doing it for.
Mm.
So that could happen.
That's long.
But the best thing that ever happened to me out of that, when I was subbing over at 44, I was subbing for a teacher, for his I think it was 6th grade teacher. And I came back in the class the next day, and he looked at me. He said, "Wait a minute. Did you go to Madai?" I said, "Yeah." "Let me shake your hand." "I am so impressed with you." "What are you talking about?" He said, "I was on that board at Madai." "You were a freshman, weren't you?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "That was something that, as a freshman, you were willing to take on the institution." I said, "Well, yeah, thank you." And that meant a lot to me.
Mm.
Here this old white dude, don't know me, not really.
Mm-hmm.
He liked me as a sub, and now he's like, "No, I really admire what you do because it took a lot of guts
Right.
to do that." But that's who I am. I've always fought. Kidding me? I've always fought for people who are afraid to speak up or those who can't speak.
I was just thinking about, what you were just saying about 44 and how you develop your art. And I was like, man, I wonder if I was there at the time, because everything you said is like a part of how I approach these processes.
So for me, like this whole willing to battle things, it started when I was at School 53.
Mm.
And all I wanted was to have pizza, like on every Thursday. That's all. And so my mother said, "No, why don't you create some type of campaign?" So Mrs. Woods, being who she is, and she was a big follower of Dr. King. She's like, "Okay, well, if you write these petitions and you get so many people to sign them, I'll present that to the cafeteria and we'll do it." So I went around all the classrooms, and all the kids signed, and they changed it. For the rest of the year, pizza every Thursday. Then next year, pizza every Thursday. In the middle of the second year, everyone got tired of it, and they got mad at me. But
you was the man until
right. But
and what was your age or grade at that time?
I was in 3rd grade.
Wow.
So, but that was because my mother said, "Okay, you want to do that? Go ahead, try it."
Mm-hmm.
So I always blame her when things are not standing for stuff. I go, "Mom," she said, "you should probably keep your mouth shut." I said, "But Mom, who pushed me in that direction? You did."
That was you, Mom.
That's right. You pushed me in that direction. So I did that. Then I was at City Honors. We had a white teacher reading Huckleberry Finn. And it was Nigga Jim. And I didn't like the way white kids would say Nigga Jim. I was not feeling that. And so I asked the teacher, I said, "Why are we reading this?" She said, "It's a classic." I said, "Well, why don't we read some black classics?" And she said, "There are no black classics."
Mm.
Now, mind you, I'm in the same class with Yvette Tisdale.
Wow. Wow.
So that's who's it's one of my classmates.
Right.
That's what I'm
Okay.
saying.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, Mr. Tisdale has been coming to this school every damn year, and you mean to tell me you don't say no black classics? Now the thing is, this woman was a substitute. She was like a long-term sub. So I guess it was okay for that ignorance.
Well, she's from yesteryear, and she's goated.
She was.
Long-term subs are goated from yesteryear. So you kind of,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? You kind of understand it's going to be some stuff you're going to see. It's going to make it hard to smile in the future.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But I was not having it.
Right.
And so I probably said something profane. I used profanity to be profane, to be profound, I mean. And I walked out of class. And I said, I'm not reading this. And I stated why. Well, we sat out the class. And I got like a lot of the school to join in. And so the Board of Education took that off the list up until 2000 something.
Mm-hmm.
It was removed from the reading list. Now they didn't put on a lot of black stuff right afterwards, but they removed that with the understanding that this is what could be an issue. Now I'm not. I wasn't impressed by the book.
I think that's the part where people are like, it's a classic. And I'm like, to who?
Right.
Like, Casablanca is a classic. I'll give people that. But I've never seen it because I don't care.
Right.
Harlem Nights is a classic. I've seen it so many times.
I'd much rather read that book.
Harlem Nights?
Yeah.
That'll be fire as a book.
So, but once again, like you're saying, it was something that was heaped on me this is a classic, it's this and that, that's why you should learn it. I said, I don't get it. I see a little smart-ass white boy touch some grown-ass black man, call him nigga Jim. I said, personally, he should slap the shit out of him.
Hey, nigga Jim. And
then he was hung.
And Jim slaps him.
And then he hung.
That's not funny, y'all. That's not funny.
I mean, to me, it was like, because he was alone with Jim. Jim could have whipped his ass. So...
Hey there, nigga Jim.
And see, but that was because, right, I'm in my...
That would not be on the list to read. And then Tommy got his ass beat.
That's right.
You're not going to put that in the kid's book. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're not going to read the story where nigger Jim slapped the dog shit out of this dude, then why are we reading it where nigger Jim be like, dude, hey, how you doing, Tom?
I just couldn't deal with it. I said, I'm around white people all day long, and I got to sit there bullshit. And I'll be damned if I got to read a book with some more white bullshit. And I'm going to say it because yes. No. And I looked at history the same way. I remember the first year of American history. I said, excuse me. When we say American history, we're talking about all Americans, or we're just talking about white people? And so she went on and said, well, we'll mention Martin Luther King. I said, yeah.
We'll mention Martin Luther King is crazy. That's the response.
I'm sorry. Well, she probably said we'll talk about it. And then they said something like, we're going to talk about slavery. And I said, so in other words, this is white history. I said, I'm the fuck out of this shit. I got up, walked out. That's what I did.
So when we hear these stories about kids walking out of classes, it's not kids were just walking out of classes. You see how the difference between a generation, we were being told you guys were unruly and rude and just storming out when really you had reasons for it.
Some of us did, not all of us.
My bad, excuse me.
I had a reason, and if I wish I had been wiser, because maybe I wouldn't have stormed out. I would have sat in the classes and then made and challenged everything with the things that I knew. And I would have gone out and found things to disprove what they were saying. But like an angry young man, I was like, and bounced.
Mm-hmm.
And what was I proving? All I proved that is I can get mad and walk away. Instead of me making the proper change I could have made, because I messed up my grades that year. That was my junior year. So I was rolling in F's and D's.
He was rolling 60s.
Bro, for real.
That's crazy.
I was
his grades was like, come on, cuz. We about to go to
I'm not lying.
Yeah, them grades was out here trapping.
For real. I mean, my grades were terrible. It was all because I felt that the system was racist. And not that I wasn't wrong, but also that the teachers, I'm not sitting in these classes and you teachers you just spewing more of that BS. And I just didn't want to hear it. And then being that my parents are teachers, then they would know, like they knew my father because they bowled with him. Mm. Well, I know Hank and blah, blah, blah. Not telling them, well, good, so what? They weren't expecting me to respond the way I did. I responded like a lot of these kids do today. But
eat my ass.
Well, I didn't say that.
That's how they talk today, bro.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, but my thing was that I felt that you were disrespectful to me and my culture. So why am I going to be respectful to you? And I know now, looking back, man, I should have done differently. I should have. But then I didn't. But some of my friends, they understood. They're like, yeah, Paul, you did that, yo. You foolish for that, man. And I said that I was in the lounge. I was in the senior lounge, junior and senior year. A whole lot.
Just chilling.
Yeah. Me, I'm going to say Philip Gus.
Oh.
I'm going to name names. Yeah, that's right.
Yo, his parents really about to be like, hey, you wasn't going to class, though?
No, because Phil will tell you, in our rankings, we were so low.
Oh, God.
We both wanted to go to Grambling, and neither one of us got accepted, of course, because our grades were so bad junior year. But so, they said, well, if you get a D here, that's like getting a B in most schools. So they don't even look at us. I was like, well, shit, we'll see if it works. No, that's not how it works at all. No.
An A at South Park is an A at City Honor.
That's right.
Is an A at home school. Is an A at GED. So it's like,
exactly.
If you got the money to pay for college, you can get in, and then depending on the college, you still can't get in because you don't know the right people.
Right. So when I didn't, right then and there, I was like, damn. And I thought about it as years kept going. I said, man, if I hadn't done what I did my junior year, I probably could have gone to Grambling. But if I had gone to Grambling, where would I be today? Who would I be today?
I mean, the producer that you are, you wouldn't have those productions, but I think it would have taken a upward trajectory of what, your mom gave you the information of go out and make change. Your friends gave you the validation of this is what the culture feeling. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, to me, I'm like, you'd have been whatever version of Kendrick now is then. To me, you know what I mean?
I think that would have been possible.
Then again, you got your own stuff that you had to work out during these years that I don't know about.
Right, because then the thing is, now, if I had gone to Grambling, I would have been part of not one fraternity because I just didn't believe in them. I don't believe in fraternities. I just, and you ain't gonna hit me,
bruh,
to be a part of a brotherhood. That's not gonna happen. And so I could see where
I'm a part of a fraternity, and I told them at the door, like, yo, if one of y'all hit me, I'm not. That's not why I came here, y'all.
Yeah, I said, I just
like I don't understand.
And I don't care how far I would have been away from home. I'd been like, what? You gonna do what? Oh, hell no. And I'm the type that will, you know what? I'm good. And I would have called, yo, Mom, I'm coming home. What you mean? I'm done with this crap. Now, I want to be part of HBCU because that meant something to me. I was tired of having white people always tell me about everything. So having to stay here at Madai and then becoming a teacher and then working with at-risk youth up in Rochester. So now all the bad things are pearls. Everything I've ever done that I did, but I never got caught, I can speak on and tell them that's the difference between me and you. I used to tell them, I said, yo, you locked up. And so I should tell you something. You bad at your job.
Come on, man.
It's like, what? I was like, yo, man, you know, I've stolen lots of stuff. Never been caught.
Praise God,
I
bro.
said, I looked right in the face of the cop. No, I ain't take nothing, officer. I said, I did that. I said, I steal right in front of people's faces. I said, bro, I was just for kicks. Not because I had to. I just did it for fun. So here you are, you doing it for kicks and because you don't have. And you've been caught more than once.
That's wild.
You should stop.
Yeah. You definitely got to know when to get out the game.
And so then I would tell them, and they would say, oh, and then they understood that I was more than just this teacher, that I had a past.
Right.
And they could relate to that. And that helped some kids. I got 2 kids out of the gang. One brother unfortunately died. He wouldn't give up his jacket. And he had this rhyming dictionary that I gave him because he wanted to be a rapper. And I heard his raps, and I was like, good Lord.
Good Lord.
I said, you need to know some more words.
Right.
I said, you can't be out here, the simple stuff you doing.
Turn up,
Yeah.
turn up.
Yeah.
Like, yo, that bro said turn up the whole time.
So you had to do something different. And that was, I was kind of surprised that happened when the kids told me, he wouldn't give up his jacket. And I said, was there anything in the jacket? He said, yeah, man. He said, it was this dictionary, rhyming dictionary. I was like, oh. That dude carried it with him all the time.
Damn.
And he said to me, well, he was saying that, man, you remind me like of an uncle, like cool uncle I could hang out with. He said, if you doing this, I could do this.
Right.
I was like, hell yeah. I said, you can do what I'm doing. And that even helped me more to do what I've been doing. Because I've always wanted to help change the minds of youth. Because if I could take one kid who was deep in stuff and have him come out and realize there's something more to his life than what he's into, then I've succeeded at something.
Well, I wanna just mention this before we talk about the
Music?
the group, the music, and what you're doing as a mentor.
Okay.
At this point, but I look at it like this. Listening to your whole story and what you're saying, I agree. Obviously, you know what I'm saying. If you can help somebody get away from this junk, but I think where I'm coming from at this point is like, brother, me and you were working at the same time at one point,
right?
And if they had you working with the at-risk youth, why did they have me working with the at-risk youth too? They don't have
at-risk youth.
I was one, but now I'm not.
Right.
And if they wasn't listening to me when I was one, why were they going to listen to me when I'm not? So I'm looking at it like, do you think there would have been a difference in your ability to get more done if you would have been able to work with the students who had higher scholastics in the first place?
But the bad thing is, I had a principal who said to me, wouldn't you rather be at a school where kids don't have issues? And I was like, no, I want to be where the kids do have issues because they're the ones that need the most help. So the kids that don't have issues, they can afford to have the teachers that do the less. I said, these kids can't afford that. So I need to give them as much as I can give them and then some. So for me, that was the difference of working with at-risk youth. And I think a lot of them felt that way. I mean, they knew that I cared.
Mm-hmm.
I was dude, I am not from Rochester. And I would have the nerve to, if one of my kids didn't show up, and I knew he needed my phone call to the judge, as soon as I got a break, I'd get in my car, if I was driving that week, and I'd drive to the house. I'd find the house, knock on the door. So-and-so here. I said, you're supposed to be in class at such and such time. I said, I have 20 minutes until I call the judge. So either you give me a good excuse or you can also come back to you come to school with me, or I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna have to call the judge to say you didn't show up. And sometimes it was like, I'm Mr. Cameron, I'm sick.
Right.
Really? I said, I'll be there tomorrow. I said, all right, so you're sick? Okay, so I need a written excuse. All right, cool. I'll tell them that you called and said you were sick. And I would do that. Because I figured that, because people do messed up things. And sometimes when you punish them and you continuously punish them, they don't know how not to be in punishment.
Mm-hmm. That's powerful.
And so what is there for me? What's out there for me if I'm not in punishment all the time?
That's powerful. That helped me.
So I had to sometimes figure out what's best. Sometimes at the risk of my own job. And I know there's a lot of people that work with me that can tell you I'm a habitual line stopper. And it's a funny line, but when it comes to the kids,
being in Buffalo to hear about Rick James being a habitual line stepper, I'm like, yo, it's mad. Rick James is here, bro.
Right. But my habitual line stepping always comes in the form of what was important for children.
Mm.
I always felt like I work with adults, and adults give me the job, but my real job is for the children. And if I'm not doing it for the kids, then who am I doing it for? Oh, I'm doing it just to maintain a paycheck. I'm doing it to maintain status quo so that these kids will then go where? Where will they go? If I don't put something into them that's worth growth, where do they go? That means I have to rely on someone else. And a lot of times we do that already. So-and-so will teach them this.
Mm-hmm.
So I've tried to take on the fact that, okay, I will try to teach as many people as possible, whatever it is I have to teach you.
And speaking of that, now you are teaching a great band.
David Jonathan and they say Bedlam.
Yes, sir. I remember T.
You've heard the music.
Oh, I've heard the music. I like to go into the history and throw my little clout around. You know what I mean? I remember coming up with the bro. It was all of the church boys. Uh-huh. All the church boys got together. We used to all be trying to rap. I would drop names, but some of them ain't church boys no more. Okay. So I remember brother being a dynamic drummer and really being like focused into crafting his voice. Being able to play and sing and do all these things. What's going on with Brother Johnson now?
But Brother Jonathan, you gonna say?
Huh?
You said Brother Johnson.
Oh, my bad.
That's the wrong one.
I'm chewing gum.
Dave is a sensational singer. I would say he's one of the best male vocalists in Buffalo.
Okay, I'm gonna do this on camera. I've only heard the name Dave Stewie for a long time in Buffalo. On the scale of Dave Stewie, where does Dave sit to you, in your opinion?
Wow.
I mean, we got a bucket of slime, bro. You could take the slime bucket, or you can answer the question. I know you're gonna answer the question. You one of the ones, bro.
Listen.
Dave know what's up. That's why I'm asking, because he know what's up.
For me, I'm gonna say Dave is a good 3. Out of what number? You said 10?
No, that's out of a Stewie.
I was Stewie. What the?
I don't know what the.
Because okay.
Is this a favoritism thing? Because that's like the homie or something?
No. I was saying a 3 out of 10.
Away? I don't understand.
Dave is all right to me.
Okay.
I don't think he's phenomenal.
Compared to Dave's content.
Dave. Okay, let's compare Dave to Dave. Okay, let's do that. That's easier for me. David Jonathan's a better singer, no doubt.
Right.
I mean, yo, if you want to challenge me on that, do so. But David Jonathan is a better singer. He can carry the tune better. He holds his notes better. He hits the right notes more often. But in all fairness, Dave Stewie does something. He came up in an era of people who were okay singers. They were better in the studio than they really had to be on stage.
Yeah. I've never heard the brother, so I'm literally asking out of pure ignorance.
I like Dave as a person. So don't get me.
Yeah, this is not about.
I like Dave.
I think everybody should be where they at. I'm not there. So
when I think of singers, no.
I'm asking because we got Marcus Lee. I'm not asking questions about Marcus. I'm just saying we have names in the city where we know they get booked for singing.
Yo.
And I'm tired of people not knowing Buffalo artists from each other.
But the thing is, see, a Dave Stewie could be better.
Okay.
Because he has all the ability, he has all the tools to be a better singer.
Okay.
I just think that he's never improved from the time he left.
As if he didn't have to really do more, so he stayed in his lane.
I don't think he was with people who really tried to get more out of him.
Okay.
So to me, it's like there was no growth, and now it's a lot of slick stuff. But that's just me.
I'm gonna say this because we literally talked about it earlier. Like, this is one of those hot takes out of nowhere that people would be like, "Yo, why he talking?" I'm like, Nah, you the only person I know who would be able to be put on the spot like that, and I appreciate you for being honest and just answering flat out without thought, without you know what I mean? Because this is your artist. And I am trying to get an idea of how much you believe in your artist, but at the same time,
secondly, right behind that, Armani Works.
Fire.
Word.
Fire.
Word.
There's no other. But see what I'm saying?
Say less. So
see what I'm saying? Say less is an issue.
Yo, man, I got two dudes in one group. Go get me your two. Let's take it to the stage.
I'm gonna get Alejandro.
Let's take it to the stage.
Let me see. Wait, Deontay.
I got two.
I gotta go find some dudes that don't even sing right now. I got some businessmen I gotta go find.
Yo, I'm saying, what's good?
I think that's my point. Like, some of the greatest artists.
Tell you, dudes, I said this.
Some of the greatest artists in this city don't do art anymore.
We got a ton of phenomenal artists here.
Like, it's some artists who are teachers and nurses.
But then they don't push each other properly. They all rather say, "Yo, man, you're good. Oh, you're good." No. Tell them when it's not really that good.
Please.
When you start out, it's one thing. But after 2 or 3 years, there should be growth. So I remember, when I first got into the band, that was because of Oscar Woodridge.
Okay.
When I knew Oscar, he was the little guitarist at St. Yanner's.
Right.
He was the guitar kid.
Yeah. I remember Oscar. Oscar guy.
Tickle. Now, I see him in the band. He's good. He's pretty good. So one day I'm saying, we're the world's most dangerous band. Mm-hmm. I'm in backstage, I'm yelling it. And I'm yelling at other people going on stage. I'm talking shit. Omega Red's about to go on. I'm like, yo, you hear that? We whooping everyone's ass. Right. So I think that did something for him. Because ever since then, he looked at me, I said, yo, man, have a good show. He looked at me and said, "Hey, we the world's most dangerous band. What you talking about?"
Come on.
I was like, oh, no, not Oscar. Oscar he's a bad man. Bad man. Mm-hmm. So that's why, like, on this album, Dave took it upon himself. He said, I want to feature Oscar. which, can be dangerous, because then it becomes, it's like, whose band is it?
Right. If everybody's 100% fire, then whose band is it? And
right,
it's like,
because your name is on it, so shouldn't you be doing all these solos? But no, you gave it up to him. And so, but that was because that's who Dave is. He was thinking, and when we spoke about it, I was like, yo, man, I like the idea because we set him up so that, because we can branch and do different things. Because next one it's supposed to be Armani.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like with Voltron, each individual piece was good enough to win on its own.
Right.
When they came together, Megatroid, Droid, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, no matter what you throw at this thing, nothing's fucking with it.
And that's why when I first saw the band, and I was like, what am I supposed to do with this? I've never seen a product that I thought that was already complete. Like, I don't do. Now I'm here, and we've been working on stuff, and there are things you always need to work on because you always need to push yourself. And so
you've been seeing growth from these brothers.
Oh, hell yeah.
And who else is in the band? You said Amari?
Armani.
Armani.
Armani, Dave, Oscar, and then on bass, we have Jackson Edwards.
Jackson. That's what's up.
Jackson.
From Performing Arts, right?
Yes.
Jackson Waxon Flaxon.
I call him Riley.
Oh,
that's
shoot.
Nick, because you know how he talks.
Yeah.
So, of course, who am I then?
Oh, you Huey for sure.
That's right. So
you granddad now.
So
but,
yeah. Well, no, because he didn't think like Huey. But
he did though. He used to
a little bit.
No, he's the old version of Huey.
That's true. Yeah.
Rewatch that season 1 and 2, bro.
I will. I am.
It's 4 or 2. 4 has some shit in it.
Okay.
But I digress.
So Jackson did, and a lot. He's
fire.
Something.
You really got a fire band.
You
ain't got no white girl that's dancing on the side. That's really all you need left.
No.
You need a nice white woman who's down with the movement.
No.
He hit the Keenan. Nope, we don't need that.
No,
don't need it.
No. And then we also have Rob Huff on percussion. Rob Huff's he's a bad brother out of Rochester. Nice.
Okay.
In the past we've had his name goes by Lamont J Music. Tyler James. Tyler.
Yeah.
Tyler. Woo!
I haven't.
Nasty on organ. Oh my God.
I haven't seen him in a minute.
Tyler, he's fire. But sometimes you're in these groups, and then things happen. People go different ways.
Yeah. Season 6 of The Wire dropped, and you can't go to a rehearsal or whatever.
Right. So we've seen some changes here.
Rick
and
Morty next joint came out on Sunday night.
But when I think about all the guys that have been in the band, and I think about and we talk about sometimes it used to be like a horn section. So, but to have I prefer a dedicated horn section. I just want to say that. So, that's a different story.
Yes, sir. Okay, so you said the album is getting ready to drop?
Yeah. And now that's
when is the album dropping?
Funny thing is, for the longest time, we've been in like damn near post. But we have one more thing to kind of put on there, and then it's going to go off to be mastered. Mm-hmm. So we're probably looking at April now.
Okay.
April release is great music. Our producer is Carlton Campbell.
Okay.
The Campbell Brothers.
Yes, sir.
And if you've been watching BMF, that's his family they're talking about. The band.
Okay. I did not know that.
Yes. And so.
Y'all don't need no black older poet dude. I know you won, but you don't want to be in the front.
No, I want to be in front. No. You know what? Because I think I'm where I'm supposed to be because when Dave has a concept, I'm always going to go as far to that side without being my man Lion.
Oh, God, yes.
without being him. I'm gonna go there because that's where I'm gonna be. Dave, Tom says on camera, Dave wants some smoke, but I think it's good that I'm there because I could tell him. I said, "Yo, don't worry. If you really don't want it, throw it my way, because I'll be more than happy to take on all comers." And
Pause, bro. I'm sorry.
Here we go. I know.
It's 2025. We didn't have pause situations back in the day when we were developing our style.
Take comers. What does that mean?
It just
using all over the place.
listen. I know you don't mean nothing like
Hell
that.
no.
It's just all those words at the same time, and I watch battle rap. Now I hear it, and I'm like, yuck.
Yeah, but the thing is,
I take beef with five guys.
But you
taking on all comers.
You're not from Harlem,
not at all.
and that's what irritates me. That in Buffalo, y'all always take on everyone. You're saying those are Johns. Johns, that's from Philly.
Yeah, but Easy the Block Captain started sleeping with Remy Ma and got popular, so we started taking his style and stuff that he say.
Like, for real.
Because he's entertaining.
Yeah, but see, once again, you know what? Everyone's trying to catch a vibe. I am the vibe.
Yes, sir.
So, y'all can either follow, but allow a leader to lead.
All right, now. So April, the Leaders are dropping an album.
Word.
What's the name of the album?
And Now You Know.
And Now You Know. David, Jonathan and the
Inner City Bedlam.
Inner City Bedlam. I was raised in Buffalo, and I went to Buffalo Public Schools, so the Inner City Bedlam somehow is not a part of my brain vocabulary. I have to get my art together so I can remember that, because I'm definitely trying to purchase something. And are they going to be?
Go.
Man, listen. Are they performing soon or something like live or anything like that? You want to shout out?
No. Right now we're on a small hiatus.
Okay. I mean, we have another variant happening right now that nobody's really trying to talk about it like that, but
oh, we do.
Yeah, we should be wearing masks and stuff again.
Yeah?
But we should be, but we not.
If I get sick,
I'm gonna give you a couple of minutes to shout out your wife, let her know, so you can get some nums, throw a little something in there for the kids, Anything else you want to share with us, Paul?
No, I'm not doing all that. This what? This supposed to be like that moment where with my baby moms, yo, Riri, love you, and all my children. No, I'm not doing that shit. Y'all know who it is. You know what time it is. No, it is what it is. Man, I had a ball. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Paul. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Paul Cameron. Yeah. All right, bro. I appreciate you. And we out.
Appreciate you too.
Now let's talk about it.
This piece, the text message that was shared between me and Paul Cameron, going back and forth. So, legacy. How have you enhanced your family's story? What nuggets have you left behind? What maintains what you set? Did you place the jewels in many depositories, or is it resting in your pocket? How will you be remembered? What things will be said when you're alive or dead? Will it be oral? Might there be some text, some film or recording that tells our family's story?
Pain brought me to a place. Through a space, tears running down my face. There's no escape. Can't erase. How do I love when perception is hate? Disappointment. How it aches. The friends, family, a field of snakes. Refuse to give them pleasure to see me fucking break. But it's the pain that puts the pen to the paper. Call me creator.
PD, dawn, sending the weak to the strong, letting these rounds sing, holding notes so long. As we respect our space, time, and grace, we leave the freaks alone. We black knights all day. Automatically, a burst of fire with knowledge. Steaming, iron sharpens iron. I'll spark the desire to start. I spit fireballs. Me and my bro gon' win. Even if I take a L, no cap, I send them in. I spit fire bars. I'm sharp off the top of the head. Then I hit P. Instead of hitting a block, he get coins instead. Yo, she coming at me with the stilettos. Ooh, bruh, I'm all in her head like a goomba.
The colonizer's still in control. As we identify, he then loses hold. We no longer accept it, except we're inept. Instead of adapt, we become more adept. Moving in angles in Jenga and Django, 90 degrees freeze and freeze us. To free us from diseases, white Jesus, and how we see us.
By the blood of the innocent, my gang is community men. Building buildings for the skin of they kin. We are one, right? So I'm not dividing. We came from the earth, wind and fire. Fire flame on the human torch. I'ma light the way, enlightening all niggers. You just can't play spades. Get up.
As we walk in truth through this, our truth is this. I hate to belabor that our behavior stems from enslavers who captured and trained us, maligned our minds to blind and rename us. The past is painful, distasteful, and shameful. Breeds belief in the lies of thieves, so responsibility can be the enemy, especially as Vicks hold all accountability. Fuck a critic with 20/20 ears, conditioned to listen to abstract brand naming and nihilism, to envision visions of trivial tribalism, consisting minimalist liberalism.
Libertarianism. We rockin' and rollin' in these extreme days. We livin', saying it was written. We read it and we live it. Hip hop, no code words. We was taught to mind our business. We cut the whack shit off, but we know y'all not finished.
Never finished nor diminished in these extreme times. To survive blurred lines and written rhymes, free thoughts, not a cost. Yet we still find free speech ain't freed from freed minds.
Freedmen, like Riley, wildin', Willie beamin', stylin' and profilin' while 12 schemin'. I seem pissed, I get out the way. Y'all seep in, hiss and decide to stay snakes. Oh, they in plain clothes. Him and them spent too much time on the neck of a black man. PC, give them the black hand, the backhand of the black man. Oxen the comp, so any young buck stepping up, y'all bound to get stomped.
Young boys concerned about trip, quick work without being about it. We sharks that go deep within the ocean, explore the bottom floor of your emotion. Immersed in prose, metaphors, and verse is how EMCEEs converse.
See, we 12 them out. When 12 comes around, these 5 guys run they mouth, or they gon' run like pew. Without being a rat, I don't have to flee. When one time speak to me, they respect my chi. I'm in the field, I figured you'd respect my G.
We traumatized and sodomized through white lies, mama's eyes, papa's lives. Disregarded black folks cry.
It's a text message that was shared between me and Paul Cameron.
We go to grow cold, never to behold. We adjacent to Jason, masks on, chasing violence and violations. We try to resist it while accountable and complicit.
This piece is called Fathers of Children. It's a text message that was shared between me and Paul Cameron called Fathers of Children.
At Capital DC presents.